Just so I'm very happy with my, I made a menu. The menu, the default menu that you get looks like this. But what you do is you convert these to put a tag. I do 8 characters, and put them together into a grid. You have to know the format of the, so you put these together into a grid, and then you can navigate. If you make them tight against each other, you can navigate with only a few keystrokes. So the reason I didn't put this on, well, you can see my, if you go to your demo, let's see how good I'm not used to navigating this way. So if you go to your demo accounting, if you go to demo account example, which is on your disk, you can see my menu. It has my files. So as a matter of fact, if you wanted to have a setup exactly like mine, you could say copy demo account example star home, and then reboot, and then you would have, that's if you're in VMware. Most people are in VMware since it doesn't run native anymore. I should, VMware QEMU or VirtualBox or whatever Zen is, I don't even know. Anyway, so I have this nice menu. You know what I did? I'll tell you what I did. I got this crazy idea to put this little grid sprite I'm gonna shift the origin, set origin, shift selected elements, there we go, okay. So that's what it looks like. And then I said, you know what? I want to memorize landmarks, or I want something to help me. So what I hope is over the years, I will get used to the setup. I sort of have it set up with I have kernel and I have my operating system in the first bracket. I have I don't know. Anyway, so they're kind of like bracketed together. So I don't know, because when I was just looking at it, I got lost. So maybe this will help me. It's an overlay sprite. So anyway, so what are we gonna do? You want to see some cool stuff? So if we say who, guess what? It prints this. It does recursive up the tree. You know, I don't even know if that's the right word for it when you go up a tree. I call it recursive. That's not correct. I don't know. Is that correct? Oh well. You know what I mean. Anyway, so tasks inherit symbols of parents. And Adam, the Adam task, is the father of all, like Adam and Eve. So here's all his symbols. This is like that's why you never need to include anything, because Adam has it in his table. And if at boot, Adam is the first task, and he compiles the headers and compiles the, half the code is just in time, half is ahead of time. Anyway, Adam ends up with all the symbols. So if you say who, now this is kind of unfortunate. It's a little r for recurse. I'm turning off recursion. Okay, we only have one function. How did we get a function? This is like environment variables. So it turns out home sys has the startup code. Right here it calls startup tasks. That's this procedure right here, function. And what does it do? It spawns two users and vertically tiles them. So what, you know what we can do? Watch this. Oh shit. Okay. So what if we make another user? Watch this. Now when we reboot, that's on my menu, boot. Oh wow, 3 titties. Okay. So anyway, so now similarly you can I don't know what this is going to do. Okay, so we have one. Somebody asked why you get 2 terminal windows. You don't have to have any terminal windows if you don't want. And then all you would have would be this screen. I don't know. Then you hit the terminal or Control-Alt-T. It used to be a weird. I got standard with Linux. So I highly recommend 2 terminal windows. By the way, Alt-V, Alt-M maximizes, Alt-V makes it terminal or makes it tiled. Control-B is borders. Someone today was talking about, well, true. They said no interrupts. Well, that's not exactly true. Control-Alt-C, you do have interrupts. It's pretty fancy. It turns it into a break exception. That's actually fabulously fancy. If you hit Control-Alt-D, debugger, normally this is fatal. You can type exit if you want to kill the tab. Oh, we did the window manager. Okay, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it's normally fatal. You can kill the task, but this is fatal. Reboot. Okay, so why would you do that? Well, I don't know. Anyway, so it's a little r instead of a big R. Linux has big R for recurse. If you want to know, we don't really have that many commands, and so we use the same set of flags for all the commands. I know that sounds crazy, but anyway, F1 is the help. So there's only, I don't know, what would you say, 20, 30 commands? Maybe not even that. I don't know, 20, 30 commands. Let's see about file utility. So this kind of lists them. Little r is recurse. You can tell it you want, I don't know what that is. You can tell it you want a single file. I'm not quite sure. I forgot. If you only have one file in the mask, it's faster. flatten the tree. This is for, you don't do find first, find next. You just gobble the whole, you just call the whole tree, and when you're asking for a file mask. Anyway, so here's the problem. Graphics files are +G, just in time +J, and when we, hey, where's R? Shit. Well, I think I use R. I could swear I use R for something. Anyway, the little ones are, the big ones are file masks. I think R is something crazy. I don't even remember. So here's the file util mask. I know we have a big R. Maybe it's not replace. I don't know what it is. Let's see. Let's go for FUF. FU. Okay. Anyway, replace. So it's kind of not even a very. We have a couple. We have two of them replacing. That's kind of unfortunate, isn't it? Maybe we should change it. No. There was a good reason. I forgot what it was. I think the capitals were supposed to be those masks, and the lowercase was everything else. Anyway, so the who, that's a command from MATLAB. I stole the, it's good to use the same name if possible. Some people want me to change from LS or from DIR to LS. I don't know. Anyway, some people make their own command LS. So watch this. So if we say who -R, so I forgot to tell you the do it once. So it spawns 2 users, and then it puts some text into standard in to tell it to do a file called do it once. So this is kind of operating in, you could think of it as kernel mode. This is called by Adam. He's the father of all tasks. His stuff is kind of like kernel because it's system wide. And the first task, this is the first task. It called do it once. This is kind of a, you know, you have bash RC and some of those special files. Well, do it once is this is kind of, I guess, cron. I don't even remember how all that stuff works. Anyway, do it once runs by a user task in when it boots, and that's where I put when I like to generate a report of my website log file. So what I do is I import it into my operating system, and then when I reboot, if it sees the web file, it runs the report, and then it kills it, it deletes it. If this is a boot from DVD, then it does an install script. That's kind of cool. So it knows if it's a regular boot or a boot from DVD. Anyway, so who -R. Okay, watch this. If we say i64i, this is just like a environment variable. But you can have, this is the symbol table. All the symbols, everything goes in here. So if you say class, student, that's kind of confusing to, let's say customer. That's probably a bad example for teaching. Customer. U8 name 32. U8 address 32. Okay. So if you say who minus R. Now we have a class and a global variable, and we can say, I don't. Now if we say customer global variable. So it gets interesting when you start getting functions. So let's include this. Now we have an empty function called main. We can unassemble function main. It's pretty empty. Okay, so who shows you now? Watch this. So this window right here is Adam. He's actually got a window. Only tasks on Core 0 can have windows. Basically, all your applications run on Core 0, and they can spawn they can have slaves on other cores. Spawn them. So you have to do it explicitly. The scheduler does not move between cores. It will not move it off of one core onto another core. So Core 0 has all the applications, you can say, run on Core 0. So only Core 0 tasks can have a window. I was going to say something. So anyway, Control-Alt-T. So now we have two tasks in Adam. So watch this. If I say, hey Adam, what's up? I'm telling Adam to print hi. I have to use escape sequences. You're going to get to be good at quoting quotes. So Adam said hi. Now, what if we say Adam, execute some code. I-64, ha ha ha, equals 1, 2, 3, 4. How about just ha ha, ha ha. Okay, so now that is system wide because it's Adam and everybody inherits his. Oh, you know what's weird? Okay, anyway, so if I say haha, see Adam has that symbol. Over here, if I say haha, Adam has that symbol. So it's system wide. So if you want code to be a DLL, all you have to do is include it into this is the just anywhere in this script, and it will be included. So you can say U0 hi. So we're just including a function hello beep. So we could tell Adam to include this file, and then it would be system wide, wouldn't it? Except all the other includes would crash it because it's anyway. So it's the startup script. So let's reboot. So now what was that called? Hi. Hello beep. Okay, so now we go in and we want to get rid of our hello. That's how easy it is to make a DLL. Somebody thought I banned libraries because it was not good at it. No, it's really good at libraries. I just don't want the dependency hell. I want this to be, when you hit F1, look at this. When you start looking around, this is not that bad. You can do it. You can do it. You can master this. Okay? I want you to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's not that bad. This is not that bad. You can do it. So that's why I want it small. I want people to see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's why I set the 100,000 limit, and I banned libraries. So you want to know why I'm the best programmer on earth? That is why I'm the best programmer on earth. One line of code to put graphics on the screen. Oh my God. We can put graphics on the screen with one line of code. So there's a rectangle. Oh my God. You can put graphics on the screen with one line of code. That blows the fucking mind. And that, my friends, is why I'm the best programmer on earth. Okay, so it has God. So now that's using a shared device context, and so if one guy sets the color of the pen, it's going to be shared with the other guy. So you want to make an alias if pretty soon you want to do an alias, but I did want it one line of code, and I succeeded. So it's that one doesn't even have window clipping. That doesn't have window. I don't think it. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. Anyway, it's the persistent layer. It's kind of so there's a layer that's persistent, and then there's the layer that's redrawn 30 times a second. So the persistent layer is how do I put this? That's the persistent layer. That might not be what you were expecting. DC. That's kind of cool. It made a DC fill the groundhog. Well, somebody will have to call that groundhog. I don't know when they start making up lingo. DC fill. Okay, so wasn't that in Groundhog's Day? I could be wrong. So, what do you want to play? There's some very pathetic people. They say, that's not real 3D. He's doing fake 3D. Jesus Christ, it's just matrix multiply. That's not real 3D, it's fake 3D. Fucking losers. You guys are fucking losers. That's not real 3D, he's doing fake 3D. Fucking losers. That's not real 3D. That isn't real 3D. Those are so I didn't do three-dimensional models for this. Oh, not those are flat, obviously, but anyway. Okay, so what else do we want to do? Songs. So they sound like farts because of wicked VMware. I think the CIA got paid off by Bill Gates and the fucking, I don't know. So this makes me very sad. For some reason I did all these with a tiny window as the display. For no particular reason. But now look, I have 100 songs with the tiny window. I don't want to redo it, but I guess I should. What do you think it should be? It's nice having all the, I do want a lot of room for a listing. Maybe it's okay, but it's really weird. Why isn't it longer? Oh well, what if we just leave it? Let's ask God. For 1,000 years, just because I happen to, everybody's gonna be making hymns with a tiny window. Okay, how about that? Okay, so I got one more question I want to answer. I saw it on OS Dev. So, TempleOS is different from most other operating systems because it identity maps. What that means is the system has physical memory. This has 64 gig of memory. That's let's see what that is. That's 13 times 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 13 times 4 billion. So it's 52 gig. I have 52 gig of memory. RAM memory. This is a monster machine that I got. I'm very happy with it. It crashes though for some reason. Not TempleOS. Anyway, so there is it's identity mapped. This is the BIOS memory report, and so what does that mean? That means if one task has a stack, the other task cannot have the same stack because it's identity mapped. So if one is at one location, the other has to be at another location. They do not grow because it's identity mapped. So you can't grow your stack. That's the worst downside. The worst downside to TempleOS is you cannot grow your stack. So pretty much you don't want to do recursion unless you know what you're doing. So that's acceptable. Anyway, so we don't mess with the page tables when we change tasks. So as a matter of fact, we can change tasks 4 million times a second. As a matter of fact, let's go watch. Hey, is my grid dislocated? I didn't move it, did I? Oh well, that's anyway. So let's go to multi-core, and so this is doing task changing, saving the registers and restoring the registers. We can save 4 million times a second on all cores at the same time. So that's pretty impressive. This is a monster beast. It has 24, but VMware only does 16. So So think about it. If one task has if this has main, if this task has main, okay, so that said task 1. What is the address of main? And it's 7 something. Now if this guy has a main, address of main, it's going to be different. Basically it calls malloc, and those would normally be stack in other operating systems, but that's meaningless. The lowest 2 gig is for code. So 2 gig, 4 gig is 1 with 8 zeros. Half of that is 8 with 7 zeros. So 2 gig is 8 with 7 zeros. 7 FFF is 2 gig. So guess what we can do here? Watch this. So if I take this number and I come over here, we can say call if it doesn't have any arguments, 0x. If it does have arguments, you have to make a header. So we can say extern. No, we call this a. Oh, that's for me probably. Hello? Hello? I got it, Dad. Hello? This is Terry. Hi. Oh, cool. Did you have any questions? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, enjoy it. Okay, cool. That's good to hear. Take care. Okay, bye. Okay, so if you say extern, oh, that did not work. Oh no. Oh no. You know what I did? It has to be a. That's a recent change. I just did it on purpose. Oh, oh well, can't do it. We can't bind a header. It's easy. I could change it back pretty easily. I made the compiler picky. You want to change it back? What the heck? Oh, it takes too long. Oh well. So it has to be a. Never mind. That's for binding a. When Atom boots. Atom binds in the kernel and the compiler. Atom binds all the function headers to labels. Anyway, so okay. Well, anyway, so they have different. So main is in different locations for different tasks, and it's all the code goes in the lowest 2 gig. Now I told you that I have 53 gig or something. Why is it putting it in the bottom 2? Because let me tell you a story. Bill Gates said 640K would be enough. I guess somebody said that's a lie. Anyway, did you know modern computers stopped at about 8 gig? They really don't advertise more than 8 gig. Why is that? Well, basically the beast was satisfied. and nobody really cares about having more than 8 gig. And so everybody assumes it has to grow like Moore's law or something, but no, there is a limit. And out of 8 gig, 2 gig for code is enough. Especially, I have above and beyond that. This is a toy, and of course 2 gig is enough for code. Anyway, so all my code goes in the lowest 2 gig. That's because the instruction set works best with 2 gig distance. The instructions, if you're doing more than 2 gig for code, then you have to use larger instructions, 2 instructions and stuff. It's just a lot nicer with. Now I sort of lied. It's supposed to be just for code, but as a matter of fact, I put global variables. Like if we say, what's the address of I? What do you know? That's on the same place. So I lied about that. Right now it's set to do that. Now if we say malloc, however, if you say malloc, let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4 gig. Now memset b comma 1, 2. Now it's really slow because VMware has to map the pages. VMware has to map it, and then I have to map it. Mine is really fast because I already have them mapped. I use identity mapping. VMware might be doing 4K pages or some silly. I don't know why it's taking so long. It must be doing 4K pages. Watch what happens the second time. That's why somebody thought it was my compiler. No, my compiler's my compiler, I don't know. I haven't benchmarked it. I hope it's within a factor of 2 of the main compilers. Okay, so this takes a crazy long time. I swear to God, it's mapping pages, and it's for some god-awful reason VMware is slow. I'm not kidding, it's gonna finish. God damn. It's like it's paging to disk. Maybe it is, as a matter of fact. That's ridiculous. Come on, I'm almost gonna abort. Come on, son of a bitch. I made a test program that allocates like 64 meg at a time, and it chugs along. You can see it making progress. Son of a bitch. Okay, so I got rid of preemption. I used to have preemption. You might be wondering why the cursor's not blinking. So I had preemption, and it turns out that when you write programs, you have to do multitask safe structures. So if some 10-year-old kid is doing linked lists, I was worried about multitask. You have a drawback. you have a callback in the window update for. So when you draw your graphics, the window manager task calls it and calls a callback. Boy, this is really making me wonder. Jesus Christ. So anyway, so I didn't want to burden 10-year-olds with multi-core safe for their first program, having to worry about multi-core safe. So by having no preemption, the kid will. Oh, there! I told you it was going to finish. You thought I was lying, didn't you? Now by VMware, but everything else is going to be reset. Okay, so this was a soft reboot. Now if I say star B equals malloc 0x1. Okay, now if I say memset bam, see, it's fast. It's so, I swear to God, it's like VMware is like writing to disk or fetching from disk or something crazy. What the fuck? So maybe if I didn't have so much memory, it would be faster. So I made a program. So this allocates memory in order to you have to sit here. That's how slow it is allocating memory. That's VMware. You know, I should try QEMU. Why don't I do that? Oh, I didn't oh well. I didn't set up QEMU with 63 gig. We can do VirtualBox. I don't care. VMware has the fastest disk, and it sort of has sound. VirtualBox has a fast disk, but it doesn't have. VirtualBox doesn't have any sound. This has crappy sound. Anyway, so that's that. So I was going to tell you. So, oh, did you know that directories? I told you that symbols inherit parent symbol, tasks inherit parent symbols, tasks inherit parents, tasks inherit parent symbols, and directories inherit parent files. So, for example, if you have a file in root called StartOS, then if you go to your home directory and say edit StartOS, it's going to look in your home directory. It's not going to find it, and then it's going to search the parent. So it finds it. Whoa. So it will make a copy in your current directory. So the root directory has default files. I used to plan multiple users. Now it's not really set up for multiple users. I used to have subdirectories under home for multiple users, but now it's just home for one user. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. So Linux wants to play. So Linux wants to play multiple video games at once. What I decided, we want single process, multiple thread. This is a strange concept, we could just have DOS, single process, but what we want is single process multiple thread. So what that means is you can only play, it's only going to work for only one person can be accessing the disk, because it doesn't have sharing. So if one hogs it, the other's going to starve. The reason I call it single process multiple thread is because it doesn't have sharing. So if you tried to do multiple process, it would not have sharing, and it would. They have locks. It has locks, but what it's going to do is lock you out until the whole file is processed, and that's not acceptable for multiple users. So where is the demo? Here it is, demo games. So what I decided, this operating system is not general purpose. Its purpose is basically to do Commodore 64 like games. These games are all it's designed for. So in other words, if you're doing something and you say, look, it can't do this, I'm going to tell you that's not what it was designed for. These games are what it's designed for. And so if you're doing something, here's one game, it's got graphics in source code, and some of these have songs. That's why I said multiple thread, single process. When you're playing your song, it's convenient to have multiple tasks. So multiple thread, single process is so. Anyway, so it's different. It's maybe you want to think of it like a 64-bit flat DOS that's sort of multi-process. It's multiple thread. Anyway, oh well.